The full air. It's an interesting day. It's a Friday. Lol. By the way, I did look up that game. It did look interesting. I was watching, kind of looking at screenshots. I didn't hear any audio. Hey, Reaper. But you know, this was interesting. Fast-paced. I'll put it on my wish list and follow. We'll try out the demo, because there's another game I want to try a demo on Sunday. But it is, put it up there on the board, so to speak. Appreciate the recommendation. All right, so I think today, another shorty. Oh, you made an AI song. Oh. Oh no. So Kevin did. Oh. What? Okay, hold on. Yeah. Hold on. Let's mute this for a moment. You remastered it. Okay. Let's give it a listen.
Underneath the neon lights where shadows dance and secrets hide, Sir Xander, a knight in chains, seeks solace in a tavern's haze. He's weary.
This is amazing.
Won and wounded from wars within. Tonight he searches for a different kind of sin. In her arms he finds his sanctuary.
Oh, that's amazing. Let me share that in the AI part of the Discord. Might get a play or two more. That's awesome.
She took him up to her bed. He had never felt this way before. She's a tavern queen. Her touch ignites his soul.
It's so crazy because I know what I was there when this came about. It's so wild. Oh my god. Welcome, Frosted. And Spencer paid for it too. Oh, that's fucking great. Oh, that's beautiful. See, and this wasn't. I couldn't imagine what the rendition would be of like me and being Harambe and Sir Xander with the dwarf lady. That's a whole different thing. Especially with the performance being the role of 69. Because this was the time before we went to there. This was when we were still in the main city. I already forget the Calaman. When we're in Calaman. Yeah, Lucanu. Okay, but Lucanu was with Chris's character. That was the second round. That was a whole different thing. They were after us. Oh, you're Krillin, yeah. That's a whole different thing. Oh, good old D&D times. Gotta love it. That was a great share. Beautiful. Oh, yeah, exactly. Also, big boop, I'll say to Frosted. Again, just good to have you here. I watch FTL. You finally got your ass into gear today and put in VR headset. Oh, okay. And everything works, but the damn batteries are flat on the headset. Oh. What game are you gonna play in VR? Please don't say a porn game. It wouldn't surprise me, but just don't. We're gonna do some Nebula, which is Green Steak, which is a little difficulty. I expect you to die series. Okay. Oh dear God, Frosted. All right, yeah, well, We'll give that a pop. I don't think anybody likes the IRS, so we can all get behind that. I don't care about this boss reroll. Did a good tag. Do we want chips? Yeah, sure. After this, we'll play a few rounds. All right. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, we have things coming about. All right. Fair warning. Internet chaos. I don't know what this is. Here we go.
Huh? How much do I owe?
Secret.
What? Why?
Just guess.
$600?
Jail.
It's true, though. This is, okay, this is a crazy thing that I will say that doesn't make any sense to me, is that you cannot ask for your amount that you owe, even though they know it. They can't tell you. You have to get it through like a TurboTax or, you know, some other third party. If you do it yourself, you have to either overpay via your guesstimation, but if you underpay and do it yourself, it's a problem. Yeah, that I don't understand. Like there should be like nothing in between you and your taxes. If the government wants it, they're gonna get it. Okay, understandable. Sure. What do I owe? We can't tell you that. Why can't you tell us that? Because we made a law that's not the case. That's fucking stupid. But it's not just America. That's every as far as that's just taxes in general, from my understanding. But America in particular. Was it Benjamin Franklin said something right, and he's correct. There's only two guarantees in life. Only two. Death and taxes. God, he's right about that. God, he's so right about that. I hate taxes. Fuck taxes. I get their purpose, but still fuck them. Yeah, correct. Yeah, that's a TurboTax is like the equivalent here. Yeah, but you have to pay for it. The software, at least for here, or like the temper, like it's like a $50 licensing or something like that. You can also go to like H&R Block places, and it's like a fee. It's a small. It's just a very tiny fee. And stuff like that. But they can know how much you owe. Yeah. But you can't find that out yourself. You have to find it out through them. Yeah. Depending on your refund, it's tiny, I'll say. But yeah, that's right. But yeah, it's like, I don't know. It's yeah, I believe it. There's one time, a few years back, I remember, it wasn't a big deal at the time, but my mom got, they sent home, when my parents did it, they sent them home with someone else's taxes entirely. Yeah, there you go, Reaper. That's the way. I personally like to do, like, I've been just doing it like the cheap way, but there's been so many things that I've seen that you can do to save money that I'm like, I want to do it myself, really. Gotcha, watch FTL. That's a little bit better. Yeah, that's exactly right. The write-off stuff is really interesting because there's, believe it or not, there's a lot of streaming stuff I can write off too, because it's technically considered like a air quote side business type of thing, and it's considered that, especially nowadays. But that's something I want to do. I need to itemize and do that. You know, it's early enough for this year. I should do that. Correct, yeah. Which, yeah. And you have to, otherwise you get the knock on the door. So we got free popcorn, which is pretty good. Double's pretty good. Clubs would be pretty good. Exactly, Reaper. That's true. Yeah. Yeah. Typically the amounts you kind of have to get flagged, but yeah. Yeah. Don't piss off the tax man. It's the summary of that. Never piss off the tax man. Yeah, I had to deal with that earlier. That's been all squared away, thank goodness. That's interesting and different. Yeah, there's nothing like that here. The only thing here is that if you pay 3 months early on property tax, at least for what I got, or involved in, I'll say, you get 15% off of it, of the total, if you pay 3 months early. Otherwise, you get like a full amount, which this isn't too bad. Yes. Yes, that's true, Reaper. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think there should be tax discounts unless there's a very specific reasons that can't be abused. But then again, most reasons can be abused. But yeah, just I think a flat tax is gonna be best for most things, because I mean, with most money, from what I've seen with people that are way more loaded than me, is people tend to blow it in weird ways too. I've seen. Yeah, there's some dumbass afoot, I'll say. Ends up going like toys or weird carpentry expenses and stuff like that, and food orders. People kind of live in cocaine and hookers. That's another one. Yeah, that's pretty good, Reaper, considering. Yeah, that's pretty damn good. Well, I know one thing that a lot of people do, I think it varies, but quote me if I'm wrong, because I've only heard this. I've not actually researched this, but one thing I heard somebody tell me was, like, for instance, if you're pretty wealthy, but you're making, like, say a small business, one thing that they do, right, is they'll have a certain amount of money that sits in escrow that can collect interest, but that money will end up going to taxes. So my rough understanding, and someone was say you make it, was it a small business, so you do, I don't know, drywall or something, you know, pool work, whatever, and you make, like, I don't know, I forget, I always get net and gross, but like with no taxes, no expenses, you make, like, I don't know, $5,000 a month with it, hypothetically, right? Whenever you get paid, you take a certain amount of that money, right, that you assume is for taxes, and you put it in an account. That account can earn interest, but at the end of the year, a large portion of it goes to taxes. And there's all kinds of like you can like lean on that money even though it goes to taxes, and there's all kinds of weird shenanigans you can do with that. I've heard people talk about. No, that's never been passed. Nothing of the like, no. Not from my understanding. Yeah, yeah, there's a lot of nomenclature with all that stuff, like, you know, knowing the terminology that I don't know. Again, I'm very layman on it. I just heard things. Yeah. Yeah, and again, it varies for me, from state to state, and for everyone else, it varies from country to country. Everyone's a little different with that, big time. And we're talking about three very different tax codes, really. Yeah, there is a difference between like liquid capital versus invested capital, and how you kind of get things. So like, yeah, you get there's also like a gift tax too, which is a thing. But like if you get a certain amount of money, if you don't do something with it a certain amount of time, if you just keep it liquid, it'll get taxed again, depending on how you got it and stuff like that as well. I know a lot of people talk about like what the rich people do when you have a certain money to get it going. They do a lot of debt shuffling and through LLCs and stuff like that. I know is a thing, but you have to have a certain amount of capital to get that spun up in the first place, you know. But I know, like, I've heard what people do is was it like celebrities cannot gift a car, for instance, like say a new car to a family member. It'll cause all kinds of problems. But what they can do is operate an LLC, buy a car with that LLC. They can rent the car to their family, and then tell the family, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, don't pay rent on it, which will hurt some credit. But when you, as the company, you just say, well, I'm not interested in trying to redeem or get back my money on the car from the debtor, so I'll just write it off as a loss, as the company loss. So the family gets the car that you wanted to gift them anyway, and then the company just got technically a loss, and you get his tax write-off. I've heard of that stuff. I don't know if that's even still legal or if there's other ways you've got to do stuff, but I've heard of people doing that stuff. Because the person to person is not correct. You have to do like a little weird middleman wiggle room for that stuff, and you can write all kinds of things off. And they do it also with like when somebody owns like a bunch of cars or toys, they don't actually own it themselves. They own the company that owns them, because companies will get different insurance rates than an individual rate. And so you can kind of finagle things depending on like like if the company has a certain amount of like capital on paper, they'll get better interest rates or rates versus like insurance and stuff like that. So like, you know, like a big car collector, say he's a celebrity, he's got, you know, I don't know, $5 million worth of, you know, display cars. They'll all be under an LLC that he owns, and then he'll get a different insurance because he's not paying necessarily out of his insurance. It'll pay out of the company's insurance, and it helps protect them if someone steals it or family member does it or whatever. There's a thing to that. I remember, I think it was who was it that, I think it was Jeff Dunham did something like that, and people were I remember there was some kind of interview thing that they were talking to an ass, and I think that was right, because he's got a bunch of cars, and there was a thing where they were joking, and he had said, oh yeah, this is under my LLC or something like that in passing, which made sense. There's like a thing to it. You'd have to kind of do some research with some AI and, you know, figure out the tax code and all that, but when you got money, there's all kinds of ways to find things. There's a reason why a lot of people did stuff in Delaware for a very long time. Which is a wild thing to think about, is that you can have a company in a completely different state with different rules and different fees, but be huge, but have like no real presence in that state. Just have like a PO box or something in the state. Pay like a couple hundred or whatever a year for it, or whatever it is. You just get all that mail forwarded to your real place of business, but you get all your legal and yeah, Delaware. Yeah, great savings. Yeah, it's exactly right. Yeah, Delaware was the state for that. There's a couple other states. Texas has got some weird finagling you can do. For a lot of people doing that in Texas or moving. But there's a couple of states that are like that. It's kind of funny is that a lot of the companies that people are like, they need to pay more. And they'll say like, they'll think that they're stationed in like a big state, like whether it be California or New York. And most of all their actual headquarters is in Delaware or something. And so the only way to actually change or affect them is not federally, but on the state level. And so you'd have to go to the state and then go to that state to change those things, or they'd have to move out of the state. And like the moving fee or transfer, that is cheap. They'll just go to a different state. So there's not really any federal laws that really do anything. You have to communicate with the local populace to do anything, really. That's a lot of work that nobody really tends to want to do, unfortunately. Do I want to skip this for the money? It's $4. I'd save a little bit on popcorn, but I'd get a shop. Yeah, we'll play it. Oh! Wow, I'm really glad I went to the shop. I mean, that's just a free +4 multiplier just for $7. I mean, that's pretty damn nice. What's my boss right now? All face cards are debuffed. I don't remember what my last one was. I was thinking whether or not I wanted to go with the spades, considering we have clubs. I wonder if you get Smear Joker, if this synergizes at all. I don't know if it does. It'd be interesting if it did. Shitty card from Judgment. A steel card. It does? Okay. We could hope for a smear. We haven't had any spade debuffs. I'm kind of... I don't know, like... Early game, it's like... Cards like steel like are just flat out better than like the World and Hangman because you don't have a direction. But if you got certain cards or a direction, those cards then become more valuable. Oh, that's a great combo, Reaper. Yeah, you had the 4 fingers combined with the Square Joker. That's fantastic. Get a lot of 2 pair. But you said you were gonna quit while the getting was good, but then you went back for more, didn't you? It's easy to do. Oh, I forgot that this... Oh, that's right. This fucking stupid thing has only one... I thought I was still playing my Magic deck. That was actually a waste. I mean, I got the same card I would have used, so not technically, but... Make this another steal. And... play that. Hey! Nice, Reaper. And cheers to that. Yeah, we need to, like, you know, you were talking about it yesterday, and I was sitting here today. I was home a little early. I was looking over stuff, replied to everything, took care of all my paperwork. My busy week's over. I was happy, and I was sitting there going, okay, I've had something on the back burner burning. Put some final touches, and then we're gonna do a soft demo of it Monday. I need everyone at least here will need to be working on it. That's all I'll say with that, because it'll be interesting. And I was just looking at games, and like, I don't know what to do. That's why the title's the way it is. Like, I was sitting there looking at stuff, and just nothing was pulling me like the same. I started looking at old games. I was like, maybe we need to do like a retro thing again. Like, either go back to, yeah, it's the randomness that is the substance. But yeah, it's just a card game. This is, like, to me, a great filler for like the week I've had, and when I just don't know what to do. But yeah, I want something to bite, like. Beneath a Steel Sky. Fun point and click. Yeah, I don't blame you for that, Reaper. Yeah, definitely don't dump that. I might join you with the GTA 5, because I still just have it. I think I have it on Steam. Hold on, let's find out. I think I do. No, I think I have it on Epic. I know I have it on PlayStation. I think it was like free on PlayStation Plus for a little bit. I got it on the 4. And I know I have it on 3 is when I first bought it. And then I got it free on Epic. And I know I didn't give them any more money. So probably the full edition I have on Epic, probably for free. But I was really looking at this game for a while right now. Like, I don't know why. I said it yesterday, but there's like no... Because I just wanted something different. I don't know. Like I said, I even tried doing like the Elden Ring. And I kind of want to go back to the Elden Butter thing, but like... I know too much. And it's not... It doesn't have like that new mystery. It's free. Okay. It's an old 1994. Look at this. Blueprints does have mystery. Yes. Wow. Yeah, Dead Island 2 is free at the moment. Also, was it Happy is the game, which is like a morbid horror game. Ah! Uh-oh. Robot Booba Girl. Our future. That's cool. I dig that. I dig the old style. Much respect on that. Yeah, there is that. There's I looked really, because like I use a couple of sites to kind of keep an eye on things, because I know right now, there's one game that was on my wish list that I really was looking at, but I was really just kind of debating. Was Precinct. Looked kind of interesting, it's kind of like GTA, but you play the cop instead, and it was kind of a little bit random and kind of goofy. That's been on my docket for a while since I saw it on the game showcase, like I think a year ago, and it just came out. I was really looking at that. It came out like 3 days ago. Just looked different. There was also another game by the same people who did Tavern Keeper, where you play like a blacksmith, kind of like a, you know, a little management game, kind of in that same vein as, you know, Graveyard Keeper, Stardew. Not as in depth as those two, I would say, but like kind of in that kind of management medieval kind of game. Like, you know, there've been a couple where you do like a pub, right? And I think Tavern Keeper was that, and there's been a couple others where you run like an inn. Yeah. That's exactly right. Yeah. So like, there's a couple of things like that I looked at. There's like a part of me that wants to find like a, I say FTL, but like, whether it be an FTL, whether it be a Stardew, whether it be a Graveyard Keeper, or even Balatro, like there's some kind of like, I want like a little indie game that's kind of off the side of the road that I can really sink my teeth in for like a good week or so before Night Rain comes up. I did play Metal Gear Solid 2 decades ago, that is true. And there's still 3 we need to finish. And there's I mean, I could go back and do the Final Fantasies. Could continue 6 and go into 7 and 8 and all that if I wanted to. There's other retro games I was looking at. I don't know. It's just like I need. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I want, and I think a lot of people are kind of holding their breath because they know that some stuff is coming out. In like, whoever has like any uncertainty right now, it is best to wait, because you've got the Night Rain coming out, and then right after that we have June 7th into 8th, 9th, 10th, 12th. That whole week there's going to be a whole bunch of game demos and expos of like just of everything you can imagine. Hundreds of games, tens of demos. I have a feeling this year is going to be pretty big. I know Urim was talking about there's been a lot of almost scary realistic rumors of Half-Life 3. I'll wait to see to believe it. I'll say that, but there's that. Rip to my popcorn. Ooh. Sure. We'll gobble that up. Yeah, Phasmophobia is good. We did something similar, which was something demon. It's fun for like a couple of streams, and then it's one of those games that's not fun unless you have a certain group of people with. Phasmophobia is like, imagine Phasmophobia is not as good as D&D, but like imagine trying to play D&D by yourself. And then Phasmophobia is like, if you can't get a bunch of people at the same time, yeah, it's one of those things that it's kind of like Repo did it, Lethal Company did it, Among Us did it, where it's one of those games that it's fun because of the group, not because of the game. If that, yeah, it's one of those fad games, I think. That's what the take I get from it anyway. Yeah, and it's really easy to fall into. Like League? Yeah, the League is a whole different level of cancer. We don't talk about League of Legends. Fucking League of Legends is cancer, is what that is. Pure cancer. I'm gonna buy that just to get it eaten. Now the anime I heard is really good. Even people who haven't played the game would like the anime or the cartoon, depending on who you ask. Thankfully, yeah, exactly. Exactly. No, that's understandable, Thor. Yeah, no, that's... You'll get no love here from it. I tried it. I mean, I literally, like, somebody was just like, how much to get you to try League of Legends? And I was like, give me a sub, and I'll try it for one stream, just to do it. And I tried. Doing you on Warzone someday? Nah, me and shooters. I think my time with shooters is gone. I think. Oh, I don't have any two pairs. This is not what I want to see. I want to try for the straight. I guess I would look for a 6 or a jack. There's the jack. I lose the steel 7 though. Playing 5 cards is gonna hurt. I only have a single pair. Rip to my hard-earned money. Yeah. MMO is the same way for me, Aaron. I've genuinely tried them. Like, the closest one that I got pretty close to being pretty addicted to was Smite, which is just kind of a third person perspective on League, pretty much. I had fun with Smite, doing 3v3s and stuff like that. I played a good few hours into that. I know Helldivers has got like a little bump right now because they got a big war bond, and I know Lucario's big into it right now, and I was thinking, well, that's a good kind of one-off, but I don't know. It's kind of weird right now. It feels there's a strange yeah, it's a whole different animal, really. The team games, yeah. I know currently everyone's showing clips and talking about like the AI Darth Vader going on Fortnite, which is a thing. Which is kind of interesting because it's the first kind of, there's like an AI air quote player and you can like talk to it. It's an interesting thing with the AI front of things. I know everyone feels about Fortnite. I'm just saying it is interesting nonetheless. Do we want to skip for this or play it? I want to play it because I want to keep increasing my dagger. I'm gonna scoot that bad boy over. Yeah, someone tricked it. Yeah, that's correct. Change your mind? Eh. It's the COD of its time. I'll tell you that, whether I want to admit it or not, sure, but... Okay, old Fortnite where they had like the building and like the NPCs before it became what we know it as, like they had like a whole creative mode kind of side thing. I remember back in the day. That was really interesting. It was almost like it was almost the same kind of level as StarCraft map making. Like it was kind of like niche, but you could do really cool things in it. Now they're straight. The zero build was different for people who didn't like the sweaty building. That was definitely a thing. But the pretty colors, they matter. Don't the pretty colors matter? We could play one more. We could buy this to get eaten. This isn't really a DNA. Now, hold on. If we're going to talk about shooters, we got to throw Destiny into the mix. Destiny 2. And then whatever happened to Apex Legends? Whatever happened to that? Poof, that went away, didn't it? Where the hell is Apex Legends now? Hold on, let's find out. Where the hell is Apex Legends right now? Hold on. Twitch is a good indicator of this. Let's go. Apex Legends. How many people right now are watching? Okay. Apex Legends is still purring. There it is. Right now, live. 28. I'll round that up to 30K viewers. Foreign, English. VTuber, English. Not many people with webcams. Got some normal sweat. Kind of cruising. You know, I would love to like, you know, it'd be kind of an interesting thing. It'd be like interesting to pick like a streamer like this that's like, say the average 200 viewers with like say doing a shooting game every day. And I'm kind of curious, like, how does that even come about? Like, how do you do a game hypothetically for like 300 days in a row? I don't know. I could see it with like a randomly generated game, but I don't know. Kind of wild to me. And then, like I said, Destiny, was it Destiny 2 currently every day? Yeah, that's props to him for that. You said the no word. I see it though, Reaper. Let me just click that. Yeah, no worries. Yeah. There you go. I allowed it. You're good. Making the channel follower only also help with the bots too. The shooters get boring. Like, okay, you're talking to somebody, I wish I had the time, but I'll put this in perspective. Let's talk about, I have dumped into a shooter and been obsessed with a shooter to the degree to which I don't know if people understand. When was it Black Ops 2 to release? Let's find this out. There we go. Black Ops 2 released in 2012. Okay. In the heyday, I was on PS3 at the time. I played Black Ops 2 every single day, and I mean every single day, for up to 3 to 8 hours for an entire year of my life. Until Ghost came out. Because was it MW3 was after this? Hold on, MW3 release. MW3 was before. That's right. Yeah, then it was Black Ops 2, and then it went into Ghost because Ghost was right after. But yeah, I played Call of Duty Black Ops 2 so much that I knew every map, every call out, every grenade spot, every line of sight. You know, fuck it, I mean, I played a part of a clan that was in the top, for sure, 50 in the world. At least, especially in Domination and Search and Destroy, was in particular 2 game types. And the way that they recruited was they recruited people to join that did really good in solo free-for-alls. So everyone was Slayers, and so we could hold spawns. The group I was called, you can Google it, back in the day was COD's Most Dangerous, was the clan. I knew the leader and everything. His name was June. I was like a high lieutenant, and I had like 50 to 100 people in that subsection of the clan that I had to keep numbers up and communicate with for competitions and MLG and all that stuff, which I did. I competed in MLG, won money. It was only a couple $100, but that was all. It was kind of cool. I'd also had people where when they had the I tried, but that's where I was because I played every day, so I was there, and because I knew everything, I just got seniority because of that. But like I knew all the people there and played with like the other clans that were like, when you went to like the leaderboards of COD and you saw like big chunks of names of like certain scores of people, at times my group and me would be a part of that, like back in the day. And like I used to love Master League, where you get the Master Rank 1. And so when that came out and was a thing, I had a group, it was the 4v4, and we would rotate the 4th member, but it was me, a guy called Realm, and Dominican Dad. And we would carry 3v4 all the time. A lot of times the 4th would be rando or would drop out or be like a kind of a temp. So it wasn't always this way, but and we would get rank 1, at least in our division, every month and hold it. And then what would happen in the clan is people would we would do Smurf accounts at the time. So people in the clan that wanted to get up, they would give us money, gift cards. We would sign into their account, play in their account, and get them to rank 1. And it was a morning routine. There was a specific time every morning. We would get up, all of us, different from the time zone. We had it all laid out. And then when they would give us the gift card, we split it among ourselves every single time. So we would help do this. And we would rotate this every month after our own. And I would play, I mean, non-stop. I have probably thousands of hours in that game. So when people talk about shooters and stuff like that, like, it was a different world then. That was fat, nerdy me, young, first time online, ripe COD lobbies. I told people that their mother was a whore all the time. That was a different world. Anyway, so like, I understand shooters pretty well. Yeah, exactly, Reaper. Yeah, it's, you know, a lot of people brag, they'd be like, oh, I was like the #1 or this and that. I wasn't #1, but I knew of it. And I at least could have, what was it? Within reach of a lot of these people, and I talked to them and got information and stuff in private lobbies, and there were all these kind of communications, and it was very like connected and niche. Like once you were kind of in, like you got phone numbers, you got you would text people would because back in the day, before like a lot of people didn't have certain type of streaming setups, So in the clan, we'd have to figure out who had the money and who had the streaming set up, because whenever you did MLG stuff, everyone would always dispute it, because everyone was a bunch of losing little pussies, in my personal opinion. So a lot of people had, it was funny, we would have numbers where everyone, even if you didn't have, you have the main guy who set up the MLG account, who had the streaming software, he would record it all. And he'd have like a MLG Premium. And at the time, because MLG Premium, you had a carte blanche, or like you were first to be reviewed, or you were given more benefit of the doubt. And then what they would do is that everyone in the clan you had a phone, and you had to immediately take a picture of the score when the game was over, when you set up the private lobby to do the MLG match. And you had like all the rules and set up all via the MLG website and everything. That was way back in the day. And there were all kinds of things like the moment anyone tried to do anything fishy or anything like that, you immediately took pictures, you reported it, and you yoinked your ether cable immediately to null and void when they did something fishy. And there was all kinds of like meta shit I'd have to do and coordinate. I couldn't tell you the amount of time I spent just talking to people setting shit up like this for all kinds of weird things. And there was like you had Christmas noobs, you had like birthday noobs, spring, or not spring, but it's like summertime, like spring break, summertime, all the kids had more free time. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff people would do. Like, there were clans I helped form that they would, at the time, it was like, it was just a weird world. Like, you know, in real life, nobody gave a shit about me, but in that world, in that year, when I was like going up in COD, it felt wild. I felt like a somebody. It was kind of weird. It went away, you know, age and time and different game when all that switched over, because everyone switched over to at the time, if anyone remembers, there was a lot of PS4 talk, and when Black Ops 2 came out, there was a point where PS4 came out, there was like nothing for the PS4. Everyone was hyping up the Xbox One, and then a large group of the clan at the time, everyone decided, are we going to jump to Xbox, or are we staying with the PlayStation? Everyone decided to go to Xbox One because the way it all lined up, it was going to be better, and it did. Xbox One won over on the PS4 for a long time in that moment of that year. And then when that happened, I didn't make the leap, and then I went on to other things, and then a year or two went later, and then I did a bunch of Rainbow Six and streamed it, and the rest has been recorded upon the internet. And that's the way it's been ever since. Little memory lane. I know I went a little tangent, but yeah. But yeah, there's a lot of really cool things with that back in the day. I've tried to like jump in before. I played duos in Fortnite with AJ, and AJ carried me a lot, but it was good fun, and did some sweaty building and stuff like that. That's funny, Reaper. Yeah, it's a different time, man. Yeah. Yeah, it was wild, because like I had like a routine that whole year, like with that, like you're talking about, like I'd schedule everything around it, put in the time. I've had Dominican Dad pop up into the stream like years later, come in and talk. He went on, married, had a I would play with him when he dated his girl. He got married, he had kids. He'd come by and say hi sometimes. Doing really well. Realm went off to college, which was like a younger kid than us. He was like a Timmy, a squeaker as everyone called, but he could fucking kill. Holy shit. He was way too young to play the game at the time, but no one cared. And holy shit, did he fucking murder and carry some ass. Let me tell you. And he didn't like playing with everybody. He liked playing with me and Dominican Dad because the way we would talk to him and the way we would listen, he liked. We weren't like the kind of argumentative the same way, and we would know our own faults, and he would know how to pick up just the right way. Yeah, no, the age in my area was varying hugely. There was a time where I think it was the June at the time, which like the name was he I think was testing me or something, I don't know, but he put me in charge of all the squeakers, every single one of them in the clan. And because the way it worked, it was kind of top tier, so like a lot of information was out of like IRL, of like the realistic stuff. And I remember there was a day, the proudest moment I ever had in like a private skirmish, just one moment, just one. Best moment I ever had was I got given all the squeakers. They're all different regions, and we were doing where two clans were the same clan, but we would do skirmishes. So I'd be in charge of this clan, everyone would join, get everything sorted for a couple of weeks, and then another clan, and then we were like the two lieutenants of the smaller clan, or the lieutenants that were controlling these group of people, and then would report to the bigger clan. And when we would skirmish, there was a time, it was one of the DLC maps, and all the squeakers got really upset. We were losing like the first round, and after, when we get in the lobby, I go, look, I gave like a speech. I was like, look, I was, screaming. I was like, I'm gonna summarize this and clean it up a little bit what I'm about to say, but like, I basically told him, I go, look, every single motherfucker thinks you're squeaker and completely worthless. I go, don't let them do this. I go, let's get together, get your shit together. Let's just, I don't care, prove them wrong, stick it to them. And like the way I did it, they all jumped on. I felt like a general for like 1 minute. It was fucking great. And son of a bitch if we did not win. And everybody was like, how the fuck did you do that? Why did all of them listen to you? I go, I told them the truth. I said, every one of these motherfuckers looks down on them because they're squeakers. And I go, if we all work together, you could shove it to them. And they did it. And ever since then, every single one of them was my best friend. It was great. I still, to this day, have regulars that come in that I can't say, but I know who they are. And they were like, at the time, 14, 15 playing COD. They were my best friend. They were great. Just murdering people. It was only one time, it was just that one moment. It was great. I loved it. Yeah, it's just time. Anything like that's time, place, dedication. These things matter. Can we win with this run, I wonder? I think this is increased enough to where it can carry us, speaking of the game we're playing. Yeah, exactly, Reaper. It's hard nowadays because you get so much noise. Most things it's hard. Ooh, full house. And a club. That's a lot of hearts. Yeah, but see, that's the thing. That's the creative process. Yeah, in fact, that's going to get juicy. But that's the creative process, that you've got to kind of make a character and throw... You've got to throw a lot of shit at the wall to kind of have that happen. A lot of people aren't willing to throw a lot of shit at the wall. Because a lot of it, you know, a lot of stuff won't land. You know, you throw like 100 things at the wall, you'd be lucky to have 5 things stick. You know, when it comes like a character or something funny. You know, it's hard to put lightning in the bottle, so to speak. Do I play 2 pair and risk my 7s? No, because I'd still... Give me that prime sub. Let's go! Why does my alert not show up? I want to see Tifa jiggling. Come on, Tifa. Man, appreciate that, by the way, Thor. Even though I know I haven't continued Metal Gear, I do appreciate that. Sincerely. Yes. Yes! I don't know why it hasn't popped up yet. Maybe like a refresh or something. It'll be there. Three of a kind win it. This was a little closer than I wanted it to be. Scoot that on over. DNA again. Okay, what are you trying to do to me, game? Oh, is that so? Well, not to worry. You got the badge. It'll pop in on my end, even though you didn't get the alert. You get a better alert. You get the most personal alert possible. You get me screaming at it at the top of my lungs. Yeah. There you go. It's better. More personal. Permanently increase my hands. Yes. Go ahead and do that. We need to give something to give to here, which would give... This would give us a big up, even though I don't use DNA. We could take this and try to get some money temporarily. A lot of money, both of these. I'm gonna buy this thing so it gets consumed. That's its goal. Oh, it looks like I have a mission. That's fair. That's perfectly fair. Rocket is tempting, but I need something to increase my multiplier right now. Besides the dagger. I'll buy this because I have been playing a lot of 2 pair. Is that right? Yeah. I'll buy this because I don't want to do the reroll because of the cost. Yeah, no worries. It happens, Reaper. Good conversation, it happens. It'd be that way in life. We don't have a club to pair with any of this. 10 jokers, nice. Two pair would be better, but this is a 3 of a kind. We kind of have to play considering. I'm gonna throw these away. Got another club with this. This will do well. Come on, give me something. What did I lose? I lost Thanos. He was gone in the snap of my fingers. Don't have enough money to really squirrel around with a reroll. I think I will skip for that free well, see, this is kind of the problem, is that right now I need like shit jokers to appear in the shop for like $3 so I can buy them to feed to my tagger. That would be great, but like I'm not even getting those, which is kind of sad right now. It's a wee bit of a problem, I dare say. I don't know if I can do 30,000. That's a good point. I watch FTL. It would sell for 3, so it would give me a 6 to that multiplier. That's true. It would. It put us up to 28. Because it would double the sell value. And it's only giving me 4, so if it gets consumed, it would be 6 instead of 4. Put us up to 28 on this. Yeah. Not by much, but a little bit. Yeah, we'll skip play the money. I don't know. I don't know. I really don't like how sketchy this feels. That's a 4 of a kind. That is definitely better than my 2 pair and a full house. So, yeah. 4 of a kind may have just saved me. I'm definitely taking the money. Right now, I really need the money. Oh! Well... yes to this. At the very least, we get 10 multiplier, and we get some other stuff. I don't know if I'll dagger it, but it's a thought. We might buy the butt plug, or the arrowhead in this case. We don't have that many spades, and what we're going for really doesn't matter. I don't know what I'll end up death carding. Yeah, that'll give us another bit of the multiplier, so we'll do that. And then 1 reroll. Okay. Interesting. Very interesting. Maybe I shouldn't have done that reroll, because I knew I was full here. Square Joker would be good, but yeah, we're gonna have to skip all of this, unfortunately. We can only play 1 hand. One hand, and we need a club, and we can do a death card, so we might be able to make a full house. It'll be a little risky. For sure. We can't count on loyalty. Okay, so we have jacks and 8s. Keep going. We'll keep the 10, we'll keep the 9s. I'm mainly looking for steel cards to draw to kind of help me, but we're kind of in the shit. Well, at least there's a steel card. But we definitely want to make a copy of the Jack. Because full house will be better than 2 pair. And gives us a couple more chip value. We've got the steel card. Everything's lined up here the way it needs to be. I mean, this is literally the best hand I can have. So. Damn it! I tried to make that work. I did. There's a weird action game that's also part of tower defense. You'd like Matt and customize helping. You not sure if it's kind of thing, but sure is original. No, I appreciate that, Urine. Yeah. Let me see. What we got?
今回は高低差をテーマとしたアクションとストラテジーの融合した本作について戦闘を軸に紹介していこう。主人公イニアスは原因不明の拘束を受けた妻を解放すべく無人地帯アリス間に赴き高度5000の欄に到達する塔の建設を目指す。塔の建設を開始すると憎悪歩きと呼ばれる異形の怪物が襲撃してくる。プレイヤーは様々な対抗手段を用いてこれらを迎撃し少しずつ塔の高さを伸ばしていく。本作ではプレイヤーキャラクターであるイニアスに加え歩く要塞ブルクガイストを刺激して戦いに臨むことになる。ブルクガイストには移動や攻撃の指示をリアルタイムで出すことができる。大量の兵器を搭載した彼へ状況に応じて指示を出していくことで強力な戦力となるだろう。
I see what you mean by original. I definitely see that.
戦闘においては高所を利用した戦術戦略が重要になってくる。ポイントを解説しよう。まず一つは高いところに位置取ることで状況を把握しやすくなる。敵に関する知識がなくとも襲来してくる方角や距離などが分かれば対処すべき優先順位の判断材料となる。またブルクガイストへの移動や攻撃の指示に際しても高所から見下ろす形で行う方が指示は出しやすい。高所で視界を確保しつつブルクガイストと連携して敵の襲撃に対処していくといいだろう。
Yuran, I don't know how you found this, but this is definitely like off the beaten path. Wow, I'm impressed.
上から下へ放つことでより強力になる。戦いの
Little bit, yeah, Dor, yeah, I see that.
これらの高低差を利用
Japanese orcs must die with mechs and weird demons.
ただし多くの場合、一箇所ではあらゆる方面からの襲撃には対処しづらい。
Okay.
状況によって場所を移る。
Yeah, no, that's interesting. Okay. Definitely off the beaten path. And I don't know why. Watching that, thinking about other things as well. But you know, that looks interesting. Yeah, definitely more action. It's got almost like a... The way it kind of looked was almost like a near automata kind of camera angle. Whenever Japanese developers do a third person, it always kind of gets that. It's not quite the same. Okay, you're on. Yeah. Early double more money. All diamonds are debuff? Yes. We'll keep that in mind for the diamonds. Because again, we have a telescope with this, so we can abuse a telescope with diamond flushes in our future. That is exactly what I'm going to do. Exactamundo. That is a royal flush. Or no, I'm sorry, there's a jack missing. Damn, that was close though. I just was like, wait a minute. Nah, it's just a regular flush. One jack short of a royal. We'll pick Odd Todd. That is a great card for us. I'm glad I burnt the Emperor. I wanted to gamble with that, but yeah, that's going to be a great card for us after this boss, mind you. Get odd Todd and then play a single odd card. Maybe I need to go back to like I know Blood got me into a little bit, which was a kind of an interesting game that kind of was unique, was kind of indie and be kind of fun to master for a week, would be something Wall. Was it Wall Climber? What was it? Wall World. Something like in this vein would be interesting to go back to, just to do it. This was a pretty interesting game. What little I played, I had pretty good fun. For anyone wondering what I'm talking about, I'll show just a little bit of the trailer. But it's just kind of a little procedural, a little bit challenge. True. Each run you gotta kind of upgrade, you get perma upgrades. And you kind of have runs. It's got like a little bit of randomness into it. I forgot about the humor. You know, terrain destruction is good. Yeah, Dome Keeper's another one. I got Dome Keeper. I've never actually played the Dome Keeper one. But yeah, you're right about that, Euron. But yeah, same vein. Just kind of interesting, different. Again, roguelike. Or light, I should say. Not like. There's a difference. What's this? Oh. What in the world am I looking at, Euron? This gives me Spore vibes. Yeah. You ain't kidding, Reaper. Yeah, there's some definite some drugs involved for sure. For sure. 5, 6, 7, 8. We got 3 of a kind. But yeah, that's interesting, Euron. That's way out there. Interesting though. I like it. I dig it. I will win with the pair. Yeah, they filtered out the text. There you go. Yeah. Well, it kind of reminds me of, there was a game, I still have it wishlist because I've been trying to follow it because there's like drama, or not drama with it, but I think there'll be drama with it, is, hold on, what game was this? I got a weird game for you. Here, wishlist. Here we go. Check this out. Hey, by the way, I watch FTL. If you want to see something that will make you mad, watch this. This is currently on sale. Okay. And it is a complete ripoff of Satisfactory. A complete ripoff. They took the game They called it Chocolate Factory. They redid everything in Satisfactory, but it's all candy. They're allowed to do this. I don't even know how this is possible. It's called Chocolate Factory. They just reskinned everything. Everything. No, not at all. So, these are the devs, the developers. Right, they've made World Crafter, Star Crafter, Grand Enterprise. Looks like they've mimicked others, actually, come to think of it. But yeah, no, these are not the original devs at all. Nope. I wishlisted it just to keep track of it, because I was curious, because I saw this advertised. This was advertised at in the Game Expo. Yeah, there you go. I mean, and I followed it just because I was curious. Like, this seems like completely weird bullshit. And like, I mean, here it is. And it's just, it's literally Satisfactory with reskin chocolate or candy. How are they able to do this? Like, I don't even know how they're even allowed. Got mixed reviews. What's the reviews like? And I had hopes for this game would further update. However, that roughly 6 months have some confirmation on the developer said that no further work is planned via Discord. Okay. They refunded their product. This color scheme was off, and I didn't like how they could do anything with the environment. I felt I am not the best at factory games, but by any means, but at least some better effects. It looked like a bad reskin of Satisfactory. This game was not given a lot of love, knowing the developer already had another game in the works. I had to refund because I felt like the cash grab for the developer made the game the way they wanted to. It's a cash grab. Thank you for. People regret purchasing this. 0.2 hours. That's funny. I like chocolate. It's fun. So the dev even has abandoned this, is what I'm getting from some of these recent reviews. That's kind of wild. And there's still Schedule 1 as well with some stuff going on. I never went back to V Rising either. Speaking of other games. But yeah, that's another game I've been following that's kind of... I only saw it because I got the email of the wish list, and I just was like, how is this game? I honestly thought it would be pulled down by this point. But, you know, kudos to the developers Satisfactory kind of just being like, you know, we're just going to keep making a good game and F you. People should just go play Satisfactory. That's what I would say. Go play Satisfactory. Wow. That's a hell of a judgment. Wow. Alright, so we're gonna play into the flushes. I'm gonna buy this. And I can't do anything with that, so definitely skip play this. Some chip value, play into the flushes. And we go from there. And yeah, I don't even know if I would play a $1.99. That's like something you put as a mod, maybe, as an idea, but not as its own game, I don't think. But there's a ton of asset flips and stuff like that for games. People do it all the time. Make money, too. ace is going to be good. 7 and the 5 would be good. 5 will be more chips, so we'll do that. Well, yeah, that's the thing we don't know, and the safe bet is to assume is that the amount of effort probably was as minimal in all aspects. Again, Galamnesian effect is something that's a thing. Good logic is that if they put in low effort in the initial base of the game, it is a safe bet to assume that they probably put in low effort to the rest. Unfortunately. Much as I hate to say that, it's probably true. We'll make a devil. I kind of... No, I did not. The audience score was trolling. I'd believe it. Yeah, but the ecosystem, even if it's reskinned and done like a couple little things, isn't... I don't know, it's not quite the thing. Like, you know, an example of this would be how Dota 2 got made, and the people who made the format in World of Warcraft 3's engine to make Dota 2, they put in a shit ton of effort. I would say it's a little different than that. What is this movie? So, look at the critic score. Okay, yeah. So, this is Hurry Up Tomorrow, mystery thriller. Okay. In theaters. Yeah, I don't know. Where's some critic reviews? Feature-length ego stroke. A monumental hubris that instantly assumes pole position in the race for year's worst movie. Yeah, exactly, Dork. Yeah. Yeah, your head's in the right place. It's dragged out by a lack of emotional connection and a high-wire act of bridging reality and fiction. Or bridging, excuse me, reality and fiction in a way that feels truthful, as if the filmmaker's best intentions were blinded by the lights. It is not a perfect film, but it is one that questions, probes, and challenges. No, nothing's worse than Snow White at the moment. That has the crown. That beat the IRL version of the Dragon Ball Z movie, which is impressive because that movie was a piece of shit, and I'm very angry with. That movie. We don't talk about that movie. I am way too much of a weeb and a fan of Dragon Ball for that fucking movie. I'm so glad it got dethroned. It is cursed for all of eternity. As it should be. Hurry Up Tomorrow falls so short of its mark that it unearths an alternative unintended vein of gold as gorgeous train wreck that is so unhinged and baffling it has to be seen to be believed. There are movies that are so bad they're good. Oh my god. And the audience score though is high. Okay. Sure. Probably you're on. Most likely, yeah. I don't know. I've been ranting about, like, it feels like I don't know, maybe I'm getting old, I don't know. It just feels like everything, I don't know if everyone's waiting on AI shit or if people just have a hard time thinking of original ideas or just no one's interested, or I don't know what's going on, but like I've talked about this with my dad for years because, you know, he's a big movie buff, and because he's come to me and asked, like, you know, I'm online way more than him, and he's like, I heard some decent things, but like, I mean, it's a superhero flick. It'll popcorn, it'll be good, but like, it feels like everything is like a sugar-free or diluted. It's like, because like I remember having like a good deep conversation, and I'm speaking in generals and spitballing a little bit, but there's like, things have lost richness, potency, I guess. And like, you know, some people might go, well, that's nostalgia. You're nostalgia for the stuff you grew up with. Maybe a little bit, but like there's tons of stuff that I can think of that's even older, like not my generation, that still like holds up really well and is kind of flavorful. It seems like a lot of things today have like, they're either like a sugar-free version of something else, or they're wearing kind of a weird skin suit, like creatively speaking. I don't know, you know, I'm not the most creative person in the world, so I mean, I'm sure it's got to be really difficult in a lot of regards, but like I remember growing up, like every year for like the longest time, there was always something that was kind of like the thing, the it. And today it kind of exists, but it's like really scattered. It's really scarce. Like, you know, when like, I don't know, like at the time, it was like Mission Impossible 2 or something. It was like, that was it. Yeah, I bet Reaper. Yeah, exactly. Well, remember the Beekeeper. There is a lot of stuff now, and you know that might be what it is, You're on. I couldn't put my finger on it because we were kind of just talking and kind of thinking about it, right? Because it was like I remember. Again, it's probably not fair, but this goes even for like the 80s. Like there was like one year, and like in that year there was like that was the thing. You know, and it kept going, and I grew up into that. Everyone here grew up into that. Like, you know, the year. Yeah, we're definitely drunk with choice. That's true. But like it's so flooded, like nobody can find a central thing. It's like, you know, there's like these islands that exist. Yeah, exactly. But that's what it kind of boiled down to, Euron, but that's exactly right. Yeah, like it, you know. Yeah, and I don't know if it's because of the choice that like has made it to where nothing like lasts. That's the thing. It hurts because like nothing lasts. Quite the same. It's weird. Like I remember. I mean, that's true, especially when we get that syrup butter. I mean, syrup butter. Anyway, but yeah, it's just, I don't know it, because I've talked to people about this, and like I kind of rant about it, and kind of there's like days like this I think about it, and like I don't feel down about it, but it's kind of like, you know, spoiled for choice, like every point everyone said, but okay, so if that's the case, we're kind of drifting through the ocean finding niches, and it's like, I don't know, I miss the, it feels like, you know what it feels like? It feels like Game of Thrones killed everything. Because like the last big thing that was everywhere that everyone talked about and knew, without a doubt, that was like the thing that took the globe by storm, the last thing, really kind of was Game of Thrones. Because like, you know, when Lord of the Rings released, boom, everyone knew. Matrix, boom, everyone knew. And Mission Impossible, boom. Pick show here, like back in the day there were certain primetime TV shows, boom, everyone knew. It was the shit. Harry Potter, even, love it or hate it, but when it was there, everyone knew what you're talking about, boom, it was there. I don't know anything about that. Potato Ramsey. Was the potato raw? Raw! But yeah, like there's like tons of stuff like everyone had kind of, everyone knew. There was what was another thing like? Bella Ramsey. Oh, that stuff. Oh yeah, I could give a shit. I'm not really into The Last of Us kind of thing. It ain't my kind of jam. But yeah, there's that. There's Game of Thrones was a big thing. I know who you're talking about now, Reaper. Yeah, but like, what like, even games, like, to kind of circle back to games, like, Grand Theft Auto 6 is probably the most hyped up thing that probably everyone's gonna play when it comes out in 2026. It's the closest thing I can think of. That's kind of crazy to think about. I'm hoping the Game Expo will kind of do things. Hey, Half-Life 3 if it's real. God, I hope Half-Life 3 is real. God, I hope it is. Oh, I would love it. I would play the hell out of the series and get involved. That would be beautiful. I would play the hell out of it. I really would. God, that would be beautiful. And like that, we lose. These runs have killed me. Oh, I hate it. Oh, my play has been shit. Probably because I'm ranting and talking, not thinking fully. But my jokers have been shit. I got this, I can't have anything to duplicate, I had no money. Start over. I don't blame you. I'm not too far behind. Get some D&D tomorrow. That'll be something. I just smooth brain the worst straight possible with no 7. Ooh, what's the book? Let me play this flush properly. Thank you. My brain wanders in deep philosophical conversation, searching for the next hit. Interesting, Reaper. What's the premise? Oh, from the author of The Martian. Okay, okay. Yeah, that was they did a movie with Matt Damon with that. Okay, yeah, I know what vein you're in. You're right about that, Euron. Yeah, Baldur's Gate 3 was the big thing. Big bump. Everyone's still playing it. Helldivers was a big thing everyone was talking about and playing. And it got kind of killed. In a weird way. Definitely not, yeah, I guess the Half-Life 3 would be like different tier. Expedition 33 has been getting a lot of things. You played that, Euron. Is it really like that crazy good, do you think? Like Divinity 2, Baldur's Gate level of like good? Come on, give me a heart. I love, by the way, can I just say that I love knowing the fact that that game was made by like ex-Ubisoft devs and crushed it. And I'm so glad that they did. That was all the talent Ubisoft fired, which by the way, their call earnings did not do very well at all. So Tencent is very happy as they continue buying them out. And that whole chestnut. More like Final Fantasy. Okay. No, I get that. The order is shit, but something good to sell. I'm gonna pick this one just so I can sell it. Yeah, that would be something interesting to go back to. I was thinking about going back to Cyberpunk, because fucking I Watch FTL talked about it, and it's like after all these updates and kind of things calm down, I wouldn't mind going back to Cyberpunk and doing wacky shit in there. Be something kind of different. Yeah, I did hear about the subclasses. Ooh, platinum. There you go. About long enough, right, Reaper? Just about. So we do really well if we get a straight, so we'll try to get a 9. I said I need a 9. I get it. Yeah, that's a fair bit. I would like a 9. It refuses to give me that. Yeah, and again, that was only because I Watch FTL brought it up. Got me thinking about it. So I can't take credit for thinking of that. But it's, you know, it's been on those things kind of in the backside burner long enough that you kind of like, you want to. Especially with the patches and the expansion and everything else that they've done. Take a hologram. Give me a full house. Okay. This Joker gains 0.5 multiplier for each card sold. That's kind of interesting. I wonder how you can make the campfire work. Do you need like the legendary card that generates like a negative copy of a consumable that you're selling, or maybe the riffraff card to sell the jokers? I guess would be my thought process. Something like that. You know what's crazy, speaking of like choice, by the way? You know, younger me would be so mad at me right now because realistically, any game that has, especially if it's 20 years old, but like, we'll say even 10 years old, any single game that's ever existed, if I really wanted to, I could go get it, go emulate it. And so there's like libraries of potential games, like there's so many in PS2 and Xbox and PS3 side of things, because you can emulate the PS3 now. With so many games and like cool graphics and stuff that I've really thought about. That's why like I was thinking of Bully and some other games in that kind of vein of like, yeah, there's a ton of like really good games, and I thought about really sitting down and writing and like looking up and thinking like, if I was gonna do that, what games? Yeah, the randomizer page. Yes, I still have that, Euron. Yeah. Yeah, I need to play the Devil May Cry series. That's, you know, like Metal Gear, it's one of those things I would love to do, and I know Cliff Claybird's trying to get me to do that one in Yakuza. Yeah, but like, there's a ton of like retro games of not retro like Nintendo 64, but it's been long enough now that the games that were top of line when I was a kid that I could not necessarily get are also. Yeah, I heard the anime was okay on Netflix. I liked the Castlevania one in particular. That I really liked the Castlevania one. That was really good for based off the game, which I play a little Castlevania. Speaking of like a parallel thing, Devil May Cry is different, but you know what I mean. But yeah, there's a ton of games that would be like, I remember at the time, you know, would be expensive or something of the like, that could be really grand to play now in retrospect. And I almost thought about like doing like, because it's just hard. I could think of an original idea, but it's one, it's hard to stick to it, and like if it's not really, you know, jiving or clicking, it's kind of hard to maintain it. But something like say you start at 2000, or I don't know, start 2005 or something, I don't know, pick a year, and then you play like the top 10 best games, like the games that were sold the most that year of those games. So like, you know, most units sold of the game when it released, of that, like, so 2002, what was the #1 game, and so on and so on. It'd be something kind of interesting, or get like a lot of nostalgia with that. I need a 9, or I need a queen. That's what I need, a queen. I don't get a queen. I still want a queen. But yeah, that randomizer, now that you say it, you're on, is another one. Yeah. I need to look at that list a little bit more detailed. What games maybe I've played. I have no direction for this deck whatsoever. What's my boss? I was gonna lean into flushes because my boss is all clubs, no poker level, but I had all diamonds debuffed. I'd like to do that if possible, so we'll make that wild. Try to do in that direction. I have not leveled up my flush, so we can still do flushes. I have a telescope that I'm not doing anything with, that I need to be doing something with. That's something I need to keep in mind with the tech, but it's hard to do it early game when you don't have money, so we need to like kind of like build up a little bit. I would like a 10. gonna stick to it because the times 3. I hate losing the discards, but I need a 10. I need a 10. Gave it to me. Thank you. That's 4 clubs. I could try to go for the clubs. There's only 4 left in the deck. I don't have anything near a straight, really. This run's gonna... Oh, God, these runs have died. Oh, it's one of those days. What a weird day. What a weird day of blah. I hate those days. Indecision and blah, man. Don't you hate them? That's true, you're on. The first one of that was really good, too. That was a nice original idea puzzle game, all made by that one guy. It's really clever, the stuff he came up with in that, too. I still could go back to Blue Princess, even. I was trying for a club. Damn it. I'm done with this game. I'm done. Super World, Supra World is supposed to come out sometime this year, I think. Ooh. As like a come out like out of early. Wait, what do you mean by out exactly? Like a DLC kind of expansion? What are we talking about? You get like a re-release on like an Xbox or a console? I'd give it new blood. Oh, right. I understand now. Right. You know, I like that. There's a couple like there was another game like that. Was a Tinykin was another one that was kind of fun in that vein. That, again, was like a great game, artsy, had great Easter eggs, was fun to play, and just died. So many games that just die in this drunken world of too much. It's kind of sad. It's disheartening. I get it. Damn. You're on. God, you really hit that on the head, didn't you? Yeah, it came out completed, and its own like little success in that regard literally led to it dying faster. No more. I'm done. I think that's going to be it for today, boys and girls. I didn't get a new win. I was too distracted in my own brain. You get those days sometimes where you're kind of clouded in your own thought. Kind of what to do and kind of assessing what's going on. Yeah, it's just kind of the way, kind of the way the day is sometimes. Yeah, a little refreshed, look at sleep tomorrow. Yeah, I think we might need to go back to some old games. Old games and indie games just seem to have more love. That's awesome, Euron. I hope that goes really well. Good vibes to her. Good vibes to all and their loved ones, of course. Congrats to her. Damn, girl. It's good for you, Euron. It's got some good genetics. That's good. Damn. Good for her. That's awesome. I wish I could live that long. Shit. Live that long just with enough health to be able to play some, like, you know, games. I'd be happy. That's awesome. That's really awesome. Much love to Grandma Euron for that. Absolutely. But yeah. I think we're hanging out, having a good talk, BSing, suggesting games, watching trailers, being a Friday. We got D&D tomorrow at 2, my time. And then, I don't know what we're going to do Sunday. We'll see. Anyway, thank you for watching. Much love. And, most of all, stay unstoppable. If you want to be able to make a decision and know what to play intuitively and be the trend of the world in your dreams. Bye-bye.